Just a couple of numbers. An overall head coaching record of 195 wins, 104 losses, 2 ties. That's combined at Winston-Salem State and North Carolina A&T. By the way, the distinction being the winningest head coach at both Winston-Salem State and North Carolina A&T, which is pretty remarkable. And I think 3 CIAA championships, 3 MEAC championships. But what are you most proud of along those lines, besides just wins and losses in your coaching?
Probably that I had the courage to fight, and I never forget, I really didn't want to go there and coach at Winston-Salem State. In fact, my wife, Clarence, said, "Are you crazy? Why would you leave Wake Forest to go to Winston-Salem State?" And they just lost, they won 1 game. So during the time when Big House Gaines asked me to come and talk to some folk, what he did, he stopped by the field one day. We were practicing at Wake Forest. I was coaching the O-line. And so after I finished, we were going toward the field house. And he said, hey, Bill, can you come over for a minute? So I walk over, he's standing close to the sidewalk near the street. So I walk over, he says, look, I got something I need you to do for me. I said, what is it, Coach? He said, I got some people over there, and we're getting ready to hire a new coach, and they have no clue of what it takes to coach college football. But they're on the committee to interview a coach. So I need you to come over and talk to them so that they'll have some idea of what it takes to coach college football if you just come over and tell them how it is. I said, well, for you, Coach, I'll do it. So I go over, I put on a suit, an old checkered shirt. So I go over and we sitting around the table and I'm talking to these folk and they asking me all these questions about coaching and what it takes. And so as we get deep into the conversation, this lady said, well, Bill, why do you want to be the head football coach at Winston-Salem State? I said, I don't. I said, I don't want to be the head. I said, Big House Gaines asked me to come over here to talk to you all about what it takes to coach. And I said, I'm doing this for coach, but I'm not concerned about being the head football coach at Winston-Salem State. So we finished the conversation. I go on back. 3 or 4 days later, Big House drives up to my house. And he said, Bill, I got news for you. I said, what is it? He said, they want you to be the coach. Coach at what? He said, they want you to be the head football coach. So you perfect for the job. I said, come on, Gaines. I don't want to be the head football. I got a good job. I mean, why would I want to do that? Because in my mind, I'm going to be a coach at Michigan. My goal was to be the head football coach at University of Michigan, Big Ten. So I ain't thinking about coaching in the CIAA. So Gaines told me what the salary was going to be, and I go back and I'm going to use this, I'm smart enough to parlay this for a raise. So I go back and I tell Chuck Mills, the head coach, Chuck, they want me to come over. He said, no, Bill, you can't leave. You're one of my best recruiters, and I need to keep you over here. He said, well, let's go and talk to Dr. Hooks about getting you a raise. And that's what I really wanted, was a raise. So I go in and talk to Dr. Hooks, and as great a man as he was, and he treated me fantastic, he said, Bill, we really need you to stay, and I'm gonna give you this raise. And he said this. He said, as long as you want to be here, you're gonna be one of my top assistant coaches. I'm saying, what the hell is he talking about? Don't he know that I want to be in charge? Ain't he smart enough to figure out that I got talent and I got a big motor and I want to do something extraordinary with my life, that I just don't want to be average? And he expects me to stay here and be the assistant coach? And in my mind, I'm thinking, how long is it going to be? When am I going to be the head coach? And when is the South going to change? And when is Wake Forest and the ACC going to change and name somebody like me, a black man in America, to a head football coaching position in this conference, in the South? Ain't no telling when this change is going to come. And you gambling with your life staying here. So forget the little raise, which was more than I've been making at Winston-Salem State, by the way. And I would have had to give up my little car deal and all my little amenities that I had at Wake Forest. But I said, you know what, that don't mean anything to me. So I go home and tell my wife. She said, are you crazy? You gonna take a pay cut? And you gonna have to give up your car? You gonna do that? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. You with me, you gotta be with me now, because we're going on this journey. And I decided to do it. I took that step. And the crazy part about it, Cameron, was after I took the job, I waited about a few days, and I went to work that Monday. So I get to work at Winston-Salem State, my first day, and I go in and report the Big House game. He said, Bill, go with Coach Roseberry. He's going to take you to your office. So I go to see Coach Roseborough, and I go up to my office, his office. I said, hey, Coach Roseborough, Coach Gaines told me to come up, see you. You're going to show me my office. He said, this is your office. So he goes over there, and he said, this is your desk. He pulls out a drawer in the desk. He said, this is your drawer. Wait a minute. You in this office? He said, yeah, but this is your drawer. And I said, that ain't what I'm playing. I went home. I left, went home, frustrated, knowing that I had made a bad move. And I stayed at home, and about a week, just angry. And Gaines called me. He said, what's the problem? I said, hey, Coach, how you expect me to coach championship football out of a drawer on a desk? I said, I don't roll like that. You know, you're going to set me up right, you're going to give me an opportunity, I'm out. And he said, okay. So he straightened it out, and we ended up with a suite of offices for me and the coaches that I hired. But it was no cakewalk, trust me. It was a lot different from what I had experienced at Wake Forest.